Hello, this is Miles Tullo bringing you the JD Power Financial Services Intelligence Update for January 2025. This month, I've invited Patrick Roosenberg and John Sundberg to discuss our latest findings from the Automotive Finance Digital Experience Study. Patrick leads the AutoFi practice at JD Power. John leads digital advisory services. Welcome, Patrick and John. All right, Patrick, can you explain to listeners what our AutoFi Digital Experience Study is?
Sure. It was a study that was designed really to better understand auto finance customers' total digital experience through the website and through the mobile app, identifying best practices, what drives customer satisfaction, benchmarks, and hopefully we're picking up on friction points for customers within those digital channels. And ultimately, we would like to find ways for auto finance lenders to be able to engage with customers through the digital channels, increasing customer satisfaction while reducing the cost to serve those customers.
Wonderful. And who's the research designed for? Who benefits from the research for those watching?
Well, obviously, it's geared towards the lenders to be able to enhance that digital experience. But also the end customer, your everyday auto finance customers, because in most cases, those customers do want to engage with the digital channels to maintain their account, to make payments, set up auto pay, apply for pre-approval. So at the end of the day, it really benefits both the lender and the end consumer by providing a greater digital experience, which is more satisfying that we learned through several studies, but also, as I mentioned earlier, it reduces the cost to serve those customers.
Got it. And our second year, right? Second year doing this?
This is the second year of the study. This is the first year that it's award eligible.
Yeah, we'll get into that in a moment.
We have a non-captive award and we have a captive award. We split it between essentially the banks and the captive lenders.
Excellent. So, John, what stands out most about the results from this year then, maybe even in comparison to last year?
Yeah, Miles, JD Power does a variety of digital research, and we do it across, a variety of industries. And so we have very similar methodologies across different industries like insurance, retirement, banking. You name it, we probably have a digital measurement in it. And one of the questions that I get often asked is, well, John, how does this industry, stack up against other industries that you're measuring? And the answer for AutoFi Digital Experiences is we're falling short. And we can directly compare things like the ability to navigate the website or the visual appeal, logging in, account overview. And almost every metric that we have in this study, we are falling short to an industry such as insurance. And that's a challenge, and it's a costly challenge because we know a strong digital experience is encouraging things like Patrick said earlier, sustaining self-service on the website so that folks don't pick up that costly phone call. And we know that a good digital experience also increases customers' propensity to use that channel again, which is very important.
Interesting. And we know consumers don't expect to have a different experience just because they're going to their AutoFi lender site than they would going to any other location. Is that?
Yeah. I mean, the expectations that we have for a digital experience, we're getting from all the apps that we use on a daily basis, whether that be Amazon, Uber, automotive websites. We're going to take that and we're going to apply it to the experience that we have right then.
So what drives that difference then, do you think?
I think that the first thing folks might say when they look at the AutoFi industry is, well, maybe we're a little bit lower touch. Our customers aren't using it as often. And so, with less engagement, oftentimes there is less satisfaction. And sure, that's some of the challenge. But in my opinion, we got to get past that. Of all those metrics that I mentioned earlier, the only one that AutoFi does better on than in an industry like insurance is make a payment. And so, when I look at it, I say these digital properties, we got to get to a point where they're two-way communication portals, that we're engaging with these customers on a monthly basis. And where it starts is with that foundational stuff. Does the app work? Are there no login issues? Is it at least as modern as some of the other apps and websites that we're using on a daily basis? And what I can tell you is we can compare those kind of core pieces or those foundational aspects of websites and apps. And again, we see that the AutoFi industry is falling well short in those.
That's very helpful. John, or Patrick, sorry, anything to add to maybe some of the reasons why we're seeing this from your perspective?
I think this is I think John pointed out a really important aspect is that when auto finance, especially the captives, were developing their digital channels, there was a feeling that this was just going to be a payment portal and be able to invest heavily in that. There was some concern with that. But what we've seen is that this isn't just a payment portal, it's a communication portal on a month-to-month basis. It also allows you the opportunity to really bring that customer back into your portfolio through applying for pre-approvals or notifying them that then being pre-approved for their next loan or lease. And then you have ancillary services like the lease end process, right? Signing up for their lease end inspection through the digital channels. So it's a two-way communication portal in most cases on a monthly basis with your customers.
Yeah, that's very helpful, guys. Thank you for that. So, John, Patrick mentioned a moment ago, this is the first year that we've had actually public rankings and award eligibility for the brands that are in this particular research. And so, lay it on us. Who was the top performing AutoFi lender according to consumers in 2024? Or maybe you can list off a couple of the top performing.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we should start with the captive brands, and I'm going to mention GM Financial. They did exceptionally well. They were the only brand to significantly outperform the captive average. I think a simpler way of saying that is they are providing a significantly better experience than the average experience out there. I'd also be remiss not to mention Chase Auto. They took the #1 spot for non-captive. And some of the banks like Chase Auto, one of the good points that they have is that they're able to leverage their really highly used and probably highly invested in retail banking framework. And what that does is it results in a familiar and likely smoother user friendly experience for their customers.
Wonderful. Well, thanks for saying that, John. Patrick, thank you as well. Appreciate you guys joining us this month. Look forward to catching up with you again at some other point during 2025.
Thank you, Miles.
Thanks for having us.
You're welcome. So the JD Power Automotive Finance Digital Experience Study is available now. You can learn more about it and access including how to access the full results through the link below. I will be back in February to discuss findings from our latest research on buy now, pay later at the point of sale, both physically and digitally. We continue to see strong growth in buy now, pay later usage. We'll have holiday results and look forward to sharing that with all of you. We'll see you in February.